Okay, hello everybody. Let's get it going here on a Wednesday. It is Longshore and McKnight. You know what we normally do on Wednesdays. We've kind of finished up looking back. We're looking forward. Barry's probably ready to look forward as well on not a lot of sleep, but I got to tell you, you look pretty good for a guy that got home after midnight.
Yeah, I pulled back into my house at 1 o'clock this morning, which ain't bad for me on a road trip, but would have been a little bit better if the Trojans could get the offense going yesterday in the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl last night at Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Jacksonville State. Troy led 13-7 at halftime. Jacksonville State has a comeback in the second half. Jack State wins it 17-13. The season is over. JSU goes to 9-5 on the year. It's 14 games. Wow. The Trojans end the year at 8-6. Couple of things about it. We'll talk about the game in just a little bit. Two things I thought about on my solitary drive back to Troy this morning for the game.
This could be very
Yeah. Number one, man, that's a lot of games. I had a great time in Montgomery. Got to see a lot of old friends. In the response to Bill from Baltimore, I never saw Tom Lugan, Bill. They're not on the same floor, not on the same level as we were. We were upstairs, they were downstairs. I never did see Tom Lugan, Bill. John couldn't get in either. That's a miss for us not getting to see our guy Lugs on the telecast. And we
got to tell you, appreciate you thinking of me, blaming me for being in attendance at the game for Troy's demise.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, and you've probably already noticed that I'm fighting a sinus infection. I've already sneezed once since we've been on the air.
Get used to it. It's going to happen again. Yeah,
me too. Again, and you can hear me sniffling, and I'm probably going to go get a box of Kleenex here in a minute or a roll of toilet paper because my nose is running. But I couldn't make the game due to this tossing and turning. But I did watch a lot of it until I finally fell asleep on some medication that I took to try to get this cleared up, which obviously has not worked well.
But I do like the idea of you getting a roll of toilet paper. You can have a little bit of an Auburn background. Just set it back there.
That's right.
Yeah, roll.
So, Bill, it was not my fault. I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. Chris, out at the Hertz counter, it wasn't my fault.
No, it was not John's fault last night. Troy just couldn't get any offense going. By the end of the game, Troy was playing. It's not an excuse. It's just a fact. We still had chances. Without their starting quarterback, without their top two running backs, their starting left tackle, starting right tackle, starting center, starting guard.
I realized because I heard Barry and Luke's talking. Barry's not his first name; his last name is Barry.
Matt Barry.
And Luke's talking about Troy being without their two starting offensive tackles. I said, "Well, man, okay." Yep. Then Crowder goes out. Is this guy been hurt more than any player in college football?
He has. He's tough as can be. Gosh, I love him, but he has been hurt a lot. If it was me, that was my problem as an athlete. Is I was always hurt. I broke both arms and a leg in my athletic career, but it just was not to be. Troy ends up falling. It was a very nice experience. Crampton Bowl looked nice. We had great broadcast conditions. And, proud of Troy's participation in the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. But that's the other thing I thought about on the way home. And one of the things I really like about John, there are several.
Oh, yeah, see, look, I'm heading in the right direction.
Last night, over and over again on our radio broadcast, I mentioned welcome back to Montgomery at the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. And I'm appreciative of them and appreciative of the sponsorship. But I know, John, from now on, we ain't going to be talking anymore. We're going to call it the Gasparilla Bowl or the Sugar Bowl or the Peach Bowl. We ain't going to call it the Bucked Up L.A. Bowl presented by Gronk or the Snoop Dogg Bowl or the USF&G Sugar Bowl or whatever. From now on, all of these games are just going to be either Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl,
like today, Barry, it's the Q Bowl.
the
I
Cure
don't know
Bowl.
what staff DNA is, but to me, it's Cure Bowl.
Yeah. So from now on, this is something John has always taken pride in. He ain't getting no money from staff DNA. He ain't getting no money from Bad Boy Mowers or Weed Eater or anything like that. So why has he got to say that name?
Yeah, let's go turn this into
that bowl in
NASCAR.
Mobile or some bowl in Fort Worth or whatever they call that bowl up to where the Yankees play or something. It ain't going to be any corporate names from here on out.
Yeah,
I said it enough last night.
It's a little like NASCAR when the drivers are getting interviewed and they go through all their sponsors. Yeah, I mean, I get it. What is IS4S? Am I saying that right? What is that? What is that?
That's the funny thing about it as well. I must have said it 70 times during the broadcast. I have no idea. I don't know. I probably should have researched it, but it's not like I'm doing a live read for IS4S during the game. I'm appreciative of them, whoever they are. IS4S ain't that easy to say, but we do salute our veterans. I love and admire them. But I did think about that on the way home. Well, that's the last we're going to have to say of some big, long corporate bowl name, because I know John, I never had to worry about him being too corporate. I promise you.
Well, Bear, I was able to watch some of the game, listen to the broadcast. Was outstanding as always.
Thank you.
And, I love the signage. The signage looks great. You can see some advertising from local businesses. Saw a sign for the Montgomery Regional Airport as well there last night. So they're doing a great job with that. They've got the field suites in the end zones. Those look cool. I've noticed those for years. Those are pretty cool. And there was a lot of, promotion and advertising about the city during the game, which I thought was nice. So the city got a good spotlight. As we talked yesterday, it was the only football game in the United States last night of any, they might have had some powder puff girls game or something at a high school, but as far as I know, college and NFL, that was the only football game played last night, and the only one that was broadcast as well.
Well, there are a couple of games tonight. The aforementioned Cure Bowl in Orlando, Old Dominion versus South Florida, that's at 5. And then the 68 Ventures Bowl, a.k.a. some bowl in Mobile, between Louisiana and Delaware, that's at 8:30 tonight. Both of them on ESPN. It's a doubleheader in those. That is tonight, and after that, Thursday you got the Xbox Bowl in Frisco, Texas. Let me make sure I got these right. No, we're talking about. Let's move it to Central Time. The Cure Bowl's at 4, and the 68 Ventures Bowl is at 7.
I'm glad you brought that up, Barry. Yeah. It is at 4 o'clock. Yep. More on that later. Hint, hint.
And
so
then
we'll get into that.
And then Friday, that bowl on the funny-looking turf in Myrtle Beach and the Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa. Ridiculous. And then Friday night, we get into the college football playoff.
I see Bama's gone down to in some spots. They're still 1.5. In others, I've seen only a 1-point favorite. A little money on the Sooners. Be interesting to see what that game kicks off at tomorrow. Is that 7 o'clock Central? Did I write that down correctly?
That is correct. Yes, 7 o'clock on ABC. Fowler, Hurd Street,
Holly Rowe, Laurel Rutledge. Yeah.
This was interesting, and it was funny because everybody was okay afterwards. And I don't know who the guy is or anything. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or call out somebody or anything like that. But before the game yesterday, again, IS4S, Salute to Veterans Bowl.
Bob from Pike Road says that's Integrated Solutions for Systems is what that stands for.
The Alabama company provides engineering and management for government and military clients. That's the only live ad we get for them. But, with all the military presence, it was so
Yeah.
good to be able to honor the military by getting them into the game and watching a football game and thanking them for their service. But before the game, it was really cool. They had, it's night. It's an 8:00 start time. We got finished with our broadcast.
You mean like 8:13? Because
True.
we had Tennessee and Louisville that would not finish.
True. I was wondering about that. I'm up there in the booth. We don't have a monitor in our booth, and I'm sitting there thinking, what in the sweet mother of pearl? What is the holdup up here?
So they got the Tennessee-Louisville game on. They say Troy, Jack State, 8:09. So I'm thinking there is no way this thing starts at 8:09 because there's 5 minutes left on the game clock in the Tennessee-Louisville game. So they switch it over to ESPN News, and then when they wrap the basketball game up, Matt Barry says, okay, we're going to the mothership. So I flipped it over, and then they kind of opened hey, we're live in Montgomery, Alabama. Hey, it's the Veterans Bowl. Oh, by the way, Jack State's up 7-0.
Oh, well, the radio broadcast went through. Anyway,
right.
it's pitch dark out there. It's 8:00 at night downtown Montgomery. And they had, the paratroopers fly in.
Yeah.
That was really cool. They had those maneuverable parachutes that you can paraglide on. You can move around, kind of like Queen Elizabeth and James Bond before the London Olympics. Remember?
Oh, that was a great commercial.
You could maneuver it around up there. Can't see a dang thing. They're up there in that plane, and, their operation is to land at midfield. They've got flags attached, the Army flag attached to one of the paratroopers, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force, all that. And then the final one is a big American flag. So we're calling it as we're, because we can't really do anything because we're sitting there waiting for like everybody else. And we're doing the play-by-play of these paratroopers landing. We don't know how many there are or anything like that. And I was thinking, never saw this before. I was thinking how difficult it is with night operations up there in a plane, thousands of feet up there, for them to look down and say, all right, I got to land on that little tiny, tiny, tiny pinprick of land at midfield at Crampton Bowl, which was great. First guy, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, landing at midfield. What a spectacle, Cinderella story, all that kind of stuff. The next guy comes down, and you can see him up there because he's got a little light on his parachute and everything. You can kind of see him coming. Otherwise, you'd have no clue. John, he lands right about the on-deck circle at Patterson Field.
That's what I heard. Missed the stadium completely.
Yeah, thought, picked out the wrong postage stamp of light, evidently. And
he's about 1,000 feet from the ground as you look around and go, man, there's nobody at this game.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is this a baseball game or a football game?
And, we're calling it all of a sudden. Here he comes, ladies, and I think he'll be okay at everything. But can you imagine that walk of shame? He's dragging the parachute behind him. He's got the flag behind him. He's carrying all that with him. You got to wait for the don't walk sign on Madison Avenue to turn green so you can. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then you walk
think that guy's going to catch some ribbing at the officers club when he gets back on base?
Seen any paratrooper in one of those deals miss the stadium. No, go to the wrong stadium.
Yeah, wrong stadium. He will hear about that. I'm sure his buddies ribbed him a little bit. Matt Barry said that guy give him $1, which is a big thing on college football final. When something like good happens, you go, give that guy $1.
Can you blame him? Just follow the guy in front of you.
Yeah. Now, Barry,
this guy goes rogue and says, hey, I guess, evidently he's not a sports fan. I guess this is where they're playing their game. There ain't nobody there. It's a baseball field. And I guess his landing was perfect.
Yeah.
And then he
walked, came back. Yeah.
Then he looks, he gets to his communicator. He says, come again? What?
Oh, that's Crampton Bowl, not Patterson Field.
Oh, my bad.
You can be confusing with the big sportsplex that we have down there. I can see there. If you're not from around here, that could be confusing. No confirmation that Range Pro was wagering if those guys could land directly on the 50. It was 10-1 odds, but I don't know if Range Pro had to pay out last night.
There was about 6 of them, back to back to back, and I'm thinking, man, they got a line up there. How many's going?
Yeah.
And they were coming in hot. And I mean, those things, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's going to hit the Metroplex. But no, he'll put it down and then he'll hit the ground running and everything, big cheer and all that. That was pretty cool, all in all. Thanks to
it was an interesting, it was a good broadcast and good game, good showcase for the city. Unfortunately, Troy did not come out on top. More on that later, too.
Yes.
When we get to hour number 2.
But this is, I think, tonight, I think I'm right, because I had it written down, but it got muddled in all my papers for the radio football broadcast. But I think tonight is day 7 as we go back into a period, John, of 23 straight days with some sort of football somewhere on television.
Yeah, awesome. I love hearing that. That's good stuff. So we have one of our paratroopers landing at Patterson Field. The other 5 did make it to Crampton Bowl. So that's good.
It was great.
That's a story we'll be telling for years and years to come.
We were conjecturing out there. The guy, here he is walking in full military fatigues. He's got his parachute, bundled up beside him and everything like that.
Now, Barry, is it true that there was a baseball player named Unique Johnson who was a leadoff hitter for the Montgomery Rebels?
He was either Unique Johnson, either he played for the Montgomery Wings and we just missed him on John and Barry night that night at Patterson Field, or it's somebody that I am not familiar with.
See, I'm showing my age when I talk about the Rebels and Nickel Beer Night.
That is a long,
which was not a good promotion. I was not even maybe just in my teens.
Yeah.
And when they had Nickel Beer Night, and I think it got way out of hand. And so they never had Nickel Beer Night again.
Yeah. Well, we are familiar with CJ Duncan.
Yeah, that's right.
He'll join us coming up during our live show today from Yellowhammer News. What will we talk with him about concerning Vanderbilt and SEC football?
Yeah, Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician. Maybe he's got a better feel about the game Friday night out in Norman. He'll join us in hour number 2. I know Theodis is excited about that. Always is.
Yes.
I see John from Wetumpka's checked in. Hey, John, did you buy that truck at Stiver CDJR on Friday? You said you were heading up there to see what it was about. So
got to know. John from Wetumpka says, we went to the game last night, carried our Norwegian student.
Sweet.
If that game didn't have a full stadium, then they won't ever have a full stadium. We enjoyed it. The paratroopers were cool. And, it was a good crowd. I was talking with Barry Allen, who handles media. He said their advance sales were 15,000 students.
Wow.
The only negative I heard was, and again, it's something, that we've talked about, it was an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Tuesday night.
More like 8:13, but I hear what you're saying.
Well, that's scheduled 8 o'clock.
It was, I'm with you, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night in 30-degree weather?
Yeah, it was 32 by the time the game started.
That's a little tough.
Was pretty cold. Yes.
As well, but nonetheless, it went off without a hitch. All right, I got to run down and get a roll of toilet paper, so I hope I'll be back by the time we get back from the commercial break. My nose is running. Woo,
well,
geez.
it's pretty red. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry, serving the River region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the River region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
You can be a winner too with Victoryland Casino's 8 days of giveaways. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. We're giving away $125,000 in free play and cash. That's right, Victoryland Casino is giving away $125,000 in free play and cash. Come play the latest and greatest games featuring exciting bonuses and huge jackpots. There's always more ways to win at Victoryland Casino. Off I-85, exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
This is what it looks like when your co-host has a sinus infection. And we're in a commercial break. Yep. That's him right there. Right now, John is, it's not like he's blowing his nose right now. He is frantically looking around his house at 7:20 in the morning going, honey, where are the Kleenex? So say a little prayer for John. And it's kind of that way. I mean, it was 32 last night. Believe me, my nose was my sinuses were active last night as well. I'm not sick, but my throat is a little scratchy. Who are we having on the chat line? Yeah, Theotis and Snookums, they're not feeling all that great either. So, yeah, John returns after frantically scouring the house. Here he goes. Yep. Toilet paper. Yep. Get it unmuted here from John. There he is. Okay.
Yeah, one of those rolls that's about to run out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, believe me, you're talking to a clientele that understands what toilet paper is for. They just haven't had as much of a chance to throw it as they have had back in.
Barry, I'm more of a dude wipes guy, so I had to look for this, so this usually isn't my forte. So
yeah,
I had to look for it.
Well, yeah. honey, I'm on the air and I can't find any toilet paper. Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey,
we're going to make it.
Yes. So starting, and there's games tonight.
Yeah.
Games tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow that the Crimson Tide will actually fly into, OKC, Oklahoma.
Yeah, do you fly to Oklahoma City or?
Yep.
I don't know if I've never been to the state of Oklahoma. I'm trying to think. I've driven through it. I've never been to it.
See, I've been there. I've flown into Tulsa before when I've had games back in the day in Fayetteville, back before they built that interstate.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of games at Oklahoma State. I have been through Norman. I have been through Oklahoma City, of course, when we landed.
Yeah.
Norman to Oklahoma City is like Jonesboro, Georgia is to Atlanta. I mean, it's right there. Norman and Oklahoma City is one big
I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, they're right there. Really, I think the whole state of Oklahoma, about 5% of the state has about 95% of the population.
What's up in that little handle of Oklahoma? Right there in the western.
Why is that there?
Yeah.
Why is that? You got like 10 miles between, what is it, Texas and
Kansas?
Nebraska? Kansas, yeah. Kansas.
Yeah. I mean, you could go from Texas to Kansas and spend 5 minutes in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Going through there?
It's like that little section, I forget what road it is south of Montgomery. Welcome to Lowndes County. And then 45 seconds later, welcome to
Butler County.
Yeah, whatever.
Dallas
Butler
County.
Yeah. And you're thinking, why do they even
So
put the
speaking
sign
of
up?
Oklahoma State, Barry, I see yesterday that Alabama picked up a tight end in the transfer portal from Oklahoma State. They also picked up a wide receivers coach. I don't think it was in the transfer portal, but the guy didn't have to drive very far. He's coming from Auburn to Tuscaloosa, Derek Nix.
Oh, yeah, former Auburn offensive coordinator.
Now, I don't say this is the level of Harvey Glance coming to Tuscaloosa, but
he comes to Tuscaloosa because he needed a job. He was no longer employed by Auburn, even though you'll notice, and I like Derek Nix very much.
Yeah.
You'll notice that after the dismissal of Hugh Freeze in the middle of the season, they scored a jillion points against Vanderbilt, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
The offense looked a pretty good bit better against Alabama. So I think he realized that he was auditioning for a job. But I did wonder about that. I did see that from the Oklahoma State tight end. You can commit elsewhere. I mean, you can't sign yet. The transfer portal doesn't officially open until January the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's officially not even in the transfer portal. He's just, everybody knows he's going to be in the transfer portal. As soon as the transfer portal opens, he'll be in the transfer portal at 8 a.m. on January the 2nd, and at 8:05, he will exit the transfer portal, signing a grant in aid at the University of Alabama. That's how it's working with a lot of guys. This is where we are in college football. There was an announcement yesterday from the people who cover college football and such things, the On3 guys and the Rivals guys on Twitter, that USC quarterback Jaden Mayava has re-signed with USC. And I'm thinking, re-signed? What do you mean re-signed? He's on the scholarship. He's on the team right now, right? Is that where we are right now, where we're going to start seeing USC sophomore quarterback Jaden Mayava and USC have agreed to terms on an extension of their contract? This is college. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't love that part of it. And you'll see this now. The one great thing that the college football playoff has over, the bowl games, the bowl teams that are participating, is the college football playoff teams don't have any opt-outs. Last night, Troy had opt-outs. Couple of guys that are, going to be in the transfer portal that allegedly already have, a destination in mind, even though you're not supposed to talk to them until they're in the transfer portal. You've got all that. College football playoff guys, you ain't going to see that.
Yeah.
So the bettors probably appreciate it.
Don't need to know any names. Just kind of curious, though, how many players Troy did have that did not play due to opting out? Was there a number?
I know of 3. Starting running back, starting guard, and a backup defensive end. There's not many. You'll start to see, especially now that we get close to the opening of the transfer portal.
Yep.
The final non-playoff bowl game is the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Oh.
Again, the transfer portal opens January the 2nd. There are 4 bowl games that day.
Yeah, come on.
You are going to, it's Rice and Texas State. It's Navy and Cincinnati. It's Arizona and SMU. It's Wake Forest and Mississippi State. There are going to be a ton of those guys that aren't going to play.
Yeah.
Because, they're not unhappy there. The guys who left Troy are not unhappy at Troy, but they're going to make a little bit more money than years.
Looking for a little more, exactly, to make some cash.
These guys are not going to sit there undecided and say, I don't know if I'm going to go in the portal or not on that day when the portal opens.
Yeah.
If they're even thinking about going in the portal, they are probably going to have that decision made before January the 2nd when their team plays in that bowl game. So
I would think so.
Yeah.
Now,
So
can you opt out like 3 days before your bowl game.
Yeah.
You know, that would be kind of, well, there's a word I want to use, but
yeah.
can't
It's
say it,
it's cheap. It's tacky, as my mom would say. You don't.
there's
you
an
don't do
emoji
that.
for it, actually, I believe. Looks like soft serve ice cream.
Yeah.
I just, that would be kind of that way, but
Yeah, get your bowl swag, eat at the banquets, get your Xbox, get your bowl swag, and then
I'm out of here.
I'll see you
I'm
later.
out.
Yeah.
I got to tell the missus to quit getting the scented TP. This isn't helping the nose. Just go.
No,
unscented.
the scented
God,
and the
terrible.
quilted stuff. Just I don't the really really rough kind because you feel like you got wood chips there.
Yeah, and I don't like the ones that's got the lotion stuff on it.
No,
I don't like that either.
Makes your nose feel greasy. That's
I will say this, Barry. The field at Crampton Bowl, is it a new turf? Because that thing looked good. It looks brand new.
Yeah, it's not brand new. I think it's its second year or its third. But yeah, you're right. It is really nice, really nice, and the whole look of it was really good. It was really good. This is probably the last year that the postseason will look like this. Next year, there's a little bit of a tweak. Basically, there's a gentleman's agreement that if Notre Dame is breathing, if they have 22 players willing to don the golden helmet, Notre Dame will be in the college football playoff. They don't have to win a certain number of games or anything like that. They just basically have to be an accredited university.
It certainly looks like a schedule that would get them to a top 12 finish.
Yeah.
I'll say that first and foremost. But, Barry, I still don't like this. Well, if Notre Dame finishes in the top 12, they're in. Well, what about any other school that finishes in the top 12? I mean, why does Notre Dame get this preferential treatment? I don't know why the Greg Sankeys and all these other power broker commissioners don't say, whoa, time out. Who made you king of the jungle? I just don't get it. You gotta earn it like everybody else.
What happens if the SEC and the Big Ten say no? They get their block of voters or whatever in the college football playoff committee, and they say, no, Notre Dame, we're not going to have you in the playoff. But yeah, you have got to earn it just like everybody else. Okay, so you took your ball and you went home in 2025. That's fine, but it doesn't matter. Who cares what you guys do? We're not letting you in. Excuse me. Hang on just a minute. What? Oh, yes, sir, Mr. ESPN. What? Oh, never mind. Yeah, you guys, all you got to do, be in the top 12, whatever it takes. If you're breathing, we're going to have you in the playoff. That's what the TV people want.
Am I jumping to conclusions by thinking, let's see, they put in a provision that if Notre Dame finishes in the top 12, I guess it's the Associated Press poll, top 12, they get in the playoff. No matter what. If they finish in the top, they're the 12th team in the final AP poll. If they end up being 13th, do you think that athletic director is going to go kicking and screaming again? Probably so. But my point being, if they finish in the top 12, they're in the playoff. To me, that reeks of, we want to make sure one of our biggest TV draws is in the playoff.
That's exactly right.
We're not going to give JMU and Tulane that benefit, but we're going to give it to Notre Dame. And maybe did that have anything to play into this year's playoff? There's one team that's the highest rated college football team in terms of television viewership. We need to kind of make sure they slide into the playoff as well.
Normally when John says, there is one team, he's either talking about Auburn or Alabama. This time I don't think he's talking about.
Is it a coincidence that Alabama got into the playoff after all of this hullabaloo? And look out, they are playing on a standalone window on a Friday night. Nobody else is playing. Oklahoma, Bama, Friday night, only game in town. Should be a ratings bonanza. Certainly. Are they putting Tulane and Ole Miss on Friday? No. JMU and Oregon? Forget about it. Not happening.
If it wasn't for this, what do they call it? Letter of agreement between the College Football Playoff Committee and Notre Dame if it wasn't for that. To me, if you want to be really unethical and you're the college football playoff, you say, no, we are not going to sign this letter of agreement.
Yeah.
That way, later on, when it comes time and Notre Dame is 9-3 and you got to vote in the college football playoff committee, and you can look, to the side and say, I'm close. What am I bid here? What am I bid?
Yeah.
A little something under the table for you to, hey, come on, take care of Notre Dame. All right, okay. With this letter of agreement, they don't have any leeway. Either
so
they're
let
in
me
or they're
go all Chervik on you. Hey, keep it fair. Keep it fair. No, really,
yeah.
I can't. So you kind of induce some AP voters. Hey, Notre Dame here, keep it fair. Wink, wink. I don't know if they'd go to that extreme.
Yeah. Yes. Number 12 on the playoff bracket. Looks good on you though. Well,
that
we'll
was a
take
great
a break.
scene when I cannot. What was the caddy master's name? Lou. Lou's been
Lou, who's losing at the track.
When Lou sits there and goes, no, really, I can't, but he still takes the money.
That's exactly right. Yes. There are so many hidden gems in that one, like a lot of people in 1980 when Caddyshack came out, they'll miss Put Me Down for a 5. Mm-hmm. And you got the looper behind him going, people might miss that the first time through in theaters. Thank gosh. You had VHS tapes and you have, streaming now. And
so one rainy, cold afternoon in the winter, I'm going to sit my children down and say, we're having a double feature today. Because
put your phones away.
None of them have seen either one of these movies. I cannot believe it.
None of your kids?
None.
Have seen Caddyshack?
Nor Animal House. And two of them have already graduated from college. I'm thinking, wait a minute. You need to know that before you go to college.
You didn't watch Animal House before you went to college and have it help inform you of the way to behave?
Yeah.
In college?
I can't believe it. None of them have seen either one of those movies. I said, oh, come on. I mean, these are classics. Now, granted, yes, okay, I know they're, 45 years old, but they're still timeless today. It's kind of
there is. If it wasn't for those movies, you wouldn't be able to, talk about Mandy Pepperidge. What was the name of the girl that Otter went to the sorority house? Fawn
Leibowitz.
Yeah. See, that's it. 45 years ago.
Oh yeah.
John does not break stride. He's Leibowitz.
Yeah.
And
hey, can you get 3 dates for my friends?
Yes, exactly right. Got to take a break right
Yeah,
here.
we're trying to round up CJ Duncan. He might be traveling this morning. Yeah. He's a busy man, but we're going to try to touch base with him if he's got a couple of minutes for us today, maybe through an airport or in an Uber or something like that. We'll see.
Here's another one, a good one from my man John. He says, have they seen Blazing Saddles?
Now, I don't think they've seen that either. I'm not sure you can make that movie today.
No.
I'm not sure you can make Animal House or Caddyshack today.
That's exactly right. I mean, back in those days, it was breaking technology when they showed all those cowboys around the campfire breaking wind. Longshore McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Get a head start on holiday travel with Montgomery Regional Airport. Book early and save big on flights to your favorite holiday destinations. Whether you're visiting family or living out your dream stay, you can count on MGM to take you there. Fly easy, fly MGM.
Okay, 20 minutes to the top of the hour on this Wednesday. Salute to Veterans Bowl last night here in Montgomery. Only game in town, so the nation could see the night in Tuscaloosa. I was looking at this kind of slipped away from me. 7 o'clock, SEC Network, South Florida. That name ring a bell?
Yeah.
They're actually playing a football game today, too. Football and basketball are both playing, but the basketball team will be in Tuscaloosa at Coleman Coliseum, where the Tide is a 14.5-point favorite over the Bulls.
Again, the game came about because South Florida head coach Brian Hudson used to be an assistant coach under Nate Oates at Alabama. He's starting to get his own little Saban-esque coaching tree going on. Charlie Henry, one of his former assistants, is the head coach at Georgia Southern. Ryan Pannone, one of his former assistants, is now the head coach at Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Nate Oates is kind of getting to be like, I don't know, Rick Pitino or John Calipari. Some of his guys are kind of spread all over in head coaching jobs all over the place.
How long has Oates been in Tuscaloosa? This is fifth season?
It feels like more.
Maybe? Yeah, it does kind of feel like more. Speaking of coaches.
Antoine Petway at Kennesaw State. Good get there.
Love that guy. Speaking of coaches, different sport. I'm hearing some rumblings, a lot of rumblings. Well, not a lot.
A rumbling or two.
A
fair rumbling level here.
Something that I thought personally, we brought it up on this show. If Alabama goes to Norman on Friday, well, they're probably going tomorrow, but tease it up on Friday,
right,
and loses the game, it will be the third straight loss to Oklahoma. It will be the second straight year in a row that Alabama is finished with 4 losses. Back to back. Something Nick Saban never did. They're not going to get rid of Kalen DeBoer. I really don't believe Greg Byrne will relieve him of his duties if they lose on Friday. But the fan base isn't going to be happy. And it's going to be a long offseason of grumbling and what ifs and second guessing. Is he the right guy? He's not tough enough. He's not animated enough. This team's not physical enough. You know everything that'll be said. So for Kalen DeBoer's sake, winning on Friday, I believe, will take a lot of heat, talk, discussion, whatever you want to call it. Now, if he goes to Pasadena and loses, I think they can stomach that a little bit better than losing to Oklahoma for the third straight time. But I'm also hearing after year 2 that no matter what happens Friday night, that a contract extension is in order. And I'm thinking, is it really? Really? Does Greg Byrne deserve I like Greg. I like Kalen DeBoer. Probably from what I hear from the fans, they'd like to see him win a little bit more, not lose games that they're not supposed to lose as a double-digit favorite, which has happened in both his 2 seasons in Tuscaloosa. But is Kalen DeBoer deserve a contract extension, or is this just another example of an AD caving to the pressures and the winds that are blowing in the college football head coaching circles out there?
Because he doesn't want to lose Kalen DeBoer. I mean, this is all agent driven. It's not necessarily, people look at it as, well, he's rewarding him for 2 4-loss seasons. Not necessarily. He's more looking along the lines of, we got to keep him locked down to prevent the Michigans and the Penn States from going after him. I've always been kind of a traditionalist in all of that kind of stuff. It reminds me of the scene from Mad Men when Don Draper, when his secretary comes in, she's going to quit. And she says, I don't like the way you're treating me. He says, I pay you money. You bring me ideas. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I pay you to bring me ideas. And she says, well, I don't think you appreciate me. And he said, that's what the money is for. That's the same thing here. Kalen DeBoer, if he coaches well enough, and he's coached well enough, he's done a good job. He hadn't won a national championship, which to some Alabama fans mean he's a miserable failure. But he's won games. He's played in the SEC championship game. He's done some things. You know what? They appeared in the SEC championship game. He's done some things. John, that's what the money is for. You do what you're supposed to do. Does that mean you get a raise? In my lifetime, if you do above and beyond what you're contracted to do, if you produce more results than basic expectations, then you get a raise. If you just are still there and your team hasn't imploded, your guys are still going to class and not, getting in trouble or anything like that, you know what you get? You get to keep doing your job. Not get a raise or an extension or anything like that. You coach well, you keep your job. You coach really, really well, then maybe you get a raise.
Babe, it reminds me of a former head football coach that had a clause in his contract that if they did not get on NCAA probation, he would get a bonus. And I thought, no, wait a minute. They're going to pay this guy for doing something he ought to be doing anyway. That kind of and I went to our suits down at the end of the hall and I said, now listen, if we don't get fined by the FCC, do we get a raise? And the guy looked at me like, what? I said, well, this coach is getting a raise for not getting on NCAA probation.
For you newbies out there, this is the challenge. When he said there's some program, you don't know if he's talking about Auburn or Alabama. In this instance, because of the inflection of his voice and the slight curl of his lip, the slight sneer, he's meaning Auburn.
Yeah,
in that
actually,
one out there.
It was our current senator, Tommy Tuberville, and hey, I don't blame him. I mean, if his agent was able to work that into the contract, good for him.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine I'm talking about you guys, the rank and file people who make up this great country of ours. If you went to your boss wanting a raise, and he says, "All right, with this stogie coming out, sell me on this."
Yeah.
Well, I've been here 3 years and I haven't been arrested yet. Huh? How about that? How about a little something for not getting in trouble with the law
what was it,
and heading to the Hoosh
What was it, Chris Rock in that? He said, I'm good to my kids. And he said, well, you're supposed to be good
to your kids. You see that woman dancing in the club, and she said, what are you doing? Is it your birthday? She's got the kids sitting at home. That's Chris Rock. And he's not wrong.
I thought, okay, you don't get on NCAA probation, you're going to get a bonus. There again, it didn't work with us in the radio and the FCC, which still kind of bums me out. But way offsides, Jeff is hitting on something that I thought up as well. And Jeff, it's all about what have you done for me lately. And I agree that the record against teams you got to beat. Auburn, LSU, Georgia, Tennessee. DeBoer's pretty good in that department. It's the Florida States and Oklahoma last year and this year. Against Vanderbilt last year. There were some games you're going, wait a minute, those things should not be happening. So those are the warts when it comes to DeBoer. People question his toughness and the physicality, and Grubbs comes from the West Coast, and they don't play smash mouth, blow a guy off the ball and pick up 8 yards. It's a lot of finesse stuff. I don't think Michael Penix Jr. ran the ball a lot when he was quarterback of the Washington Huskies. That's what people are concerned about. But one other big thing, and Ty and Tobias are in complete agreement with Jeff. But one thing I think that gets overlooked, Barry, is DeBoer's had back-to-back top 5 recruiting classes. So he's building some depth and some talent and bringing some high-caliber players. Obviously, next year, with 2 recruiting classes in his pocket, to next year, there's no excuses. These little brain farts, losing to teams you shouldn't be losing to, that can't happen in year 3.
Way offsides, Jeff. Come on now. Come on. We're all adults in here. It's not the barbershop. Can we talk frankly here? Way offsides, Jeff. Okay. Debo, why not just say DeBoer? It's 2 extra letters. Debo is 2-0 versus Auburn.
Yeah.
2-0 versus LSU. 2-1 versus Georgia.
Yeah.
Man, this is way early for all that math, Jeff. 1-1 versus Tennessee, and made the playoffs in year 2. Okay, all that's factual.
Yeah.
And then he says, what more do people want? Is that a serious question, Jeff?
Yeah, you should have left that line off,
Jeff. Alabama people?
Yeah.
He was 2-0 against Auburn, 2-0 against LSU, blah, 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 whatever. What more do people want? What more do people want? If you're serious, this is,
yeah.
They want the natty.
Yeah,
Jeff,
they don't
you're
want
an Alabama guy. What do you mean?
not
What
getting
more
in the
do people
playoff.
want?
And they don't want to go one and done in the playoff. Just think about it. In the last 17, prior to DeBoer, the previous 17 seasons, how many years did Alabama's football season end before Christmas? And that could happen Friday night.
Could. I guess it could.
That's not what Bama fans want to ring in the new year with their team still in contention.
Yes, they want to wake up on New Year's Day and go downstairs to the coffee shop and get their newspaper and, talk to everybody else who's in the hotel in Pasadena or New Orleans and have a casual little conversation about how much they're going to win by tonight.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
So think about that. There again, I didn't want to bring that up because I know that hit home pretty hard. Ooh, never thought about that. If we lose Friday night, we're done. No more football. We're not even to Christmas yet. I mean, even during the Mike Shula era and the Fran era and the Mike Dubose era, did they ever play in a bowl game before Christmas? I don't think so.
I don't know. Well, this is the question I've got as well, because this is from the Alabama game notes.
Okay.
Play on Friday night, right?
Correct.
They will be the ESPN's College Game Day evidently will be live from Norman on December the 19th.
I know SEC Nation will be there, but I don't know about game day.
This is what it says, quote, the Crimson Tide will be making its 63rd appearance overall on ESPN's College Game Day when the popular pregame show airs live from Norman on December 19th. Are we going to have College Game Day on a Friday?
Man,
and again, all of these College Game Day appearances obviously haven't been in Tuscaloosa. But 63 times? That is more than 5 full seasons. It's like all the years ESPN College Game Day has been there.
Yep.
They have had 5 years of Alabama on it.
So I'm trying to think, Barry, back in the days when Lee Corso would come on with us and get on your case for asking questions, and answer with, what is this, War and Peace? And I remember College Game Day doing one of their first remote broadcast at Legion Field before the Iron Bowl. So this was in the 80s, obviously.
It's been a long, long time.
I don't remember the first time that they did it in Tuscaloosa, but 65, you said?
63.
63?
The number one is Ohio State, who has appeared 68 times. Again, they haven't all been in Tuscaloosa, obviously, but they're over 5 full years of nothing else but Alabama here, Alabama there, Alabama here, Alabama here, Alabama here, da-da-da.
So will they, I assume, pack up? Well, they probably have 2 sets and then just go to the next location on Saturday, which I guess is A&M in Miami since it's an ABC game.
Who's going to be watching on a Friday? I got to work Friday. People have to work on Friday.
I want some historians out there to see if they can look this up. To my knowledge, Alabama, maybe there's been a bowl game, a Sugar Bowl or something on a Friday. I know when they played Texas in the Rose Bowl, that game was on a Thursday. I do remember that. But the only other game I remember Alabama playing on a Friday night was in the LA Coliseum against Southern Cal when they unveiled the wishbone and won it. Can any Alabama historian out there tell me another time Alabama's played on Friday night? I know they played Southern Miss on a weeknight due to a hurricane in Birmingham, but I believe that was on a Thursday night.
I don't even remember. See, John just categorizes things differently than me. When I look back on stuff, I don't know if it's on a Friday night. Big C told me I was born on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there and I don't remember. John is like, I remember that game was on a Friday night. How? How do you remember? Do you sit around all day going, okay, it's Friday. Okay, it's Friday. Still Friday. Yeah, it's still Friday. This game's kicking off, and it's on a Friday. What's Friday today?
The reason I remember the Bama-Texas game at the Rose Bowl on Thursday, because the year after that, every game was on a Monday. They started doing the national championship games on Mondays. It was terrible.
Not a big fan.
Don't like that. So some Alabama historian out there, let me know how many other times Alabama's played on a Friday night. That game was in LA, and I believe Alabama had white helmets on for that game.
Yeah.
I don't recommend they do that Friday in Norman.
No. The rebuttal will give equal time to opposing candidates. Bob from Pike Road says, Jeff, I think DeBoer will be good, but if we're quoting DeBoer's record, he is 0-2 against Oklahoma. 0-1 versus hapless FSU, 1-1 versus Vandy, got boat raced in the SEC championship game. Honestly, that is the Bama standard.
Hey, Bob, don't forget about last year's, what was it, Capital One Bowl or something when Michigan beat them.
Yeah. I mean, DeBoer has lost to Brent Venables and Sharon Moore.
Ooh.
Ouch. Good job against Brian Kelly and Hugh Freeze, but I mean, those are
that stings. And what didn't Michigan have like a ton of opt-outs in that game last year?
Yeah.
I thought so. Maybe Alabama did too. They did not show up for that game.
Yes. Well,
so Barry, our man CJ Duncan, not going to be able to join us today. He's so apologetic. He said, I know he's just beating himself up. I said, man, do not worry about it. I get it. It's no sweat. He is hosting a group of colleagues in Tuscaloosa today at a business seminar. We certainly understand it. No problem. CJ will join us again next week, but you know how good of a guy CJ is, man. He was I said, man, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Total stand-up guy. We know how seriously he takes his commitments and responsibilities. But yeah, we understand. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall on that business conference.
Yeah.
CJ knows his stuff. He's
heck yeah.
Super guy. We're at the top of the hour. Coming up in the next hour, we do have Theotis, a visit with Josh Harris.
Yeah.
Our money line magician. And
Barry, somebody brought this up yesterday on the River Region Straw chat line. I see Jeff brings it up today. Is something going on with the Braves that I'm missing? Or are they trying to pull my chain?
They've been active in the off season in the what we used to call the hot stove league back in the days when you heated your home with a stove. And that's basically what baseball people did all winters. They just sat inside waiting for the snow to melt for baseball season to begin again. Some moves by the Braves. Will that result in a return to the top of the National League East?
I've got to come clean. I know this won't shock a lot of our viewing and listening audience out there. I'm not proud of it, but I got to come clean. If Jeff and Bill from Baltimore had not brought that up on the chat line, I got to tell you, I would have had no clue. No clue at all that the Braves or anybody in baseball. Maybe I shouldn't admit that in my profession, but I like to be honest with our audience. Am I beating myself up on it?
No.
Not really.
That's the thing about it. Back in the day, quick story, when we had the Western Kentucky head football coach, a guy named David Elson, who, I know you've never heard of, but he was the coach at Western Kentucky, good guy. And Western Kentucky was playing Auburn one year, and we had him on the show. Western Kentucky University, WKU, is located in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yeah. And John asked him if it was difficult to share the spotlight with Bowling Green University in the same town. And I'm like, oh. And David Elson says, come on, guys. He was lighthearted. He wasn't like outraged or anything. He says, do your research. And I said, Coach, I want to make sure you know that I know that Western Kentucky is in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Bowling Green State is in Bowling Green, Ohio. And of course, we got the obligatory emails and stuff. John, man, you must be embarrassed. How could you not know that? And John's response was basically, hey, if he wants me to know where his football team is located, how about be any better? It ain't my fault they're not any good. Right. If they were good, I'd know more about them.
About them, exactly. And of course, we went to a break, and I went, can you believe that, Coach? Trying to pull a zinger on me? Who is this guy? Who does he think he is?
If I cared, I might have my feelings hurt, but I don't.
Did I go home and go, honey, but work was terrible today. I made a terrible mistake. This guy called me out on the air. I didn't know where his school. I just feel terrible about it.
And then, the next day around all of his buddies, when they're shooting the breeze at lunch or something, they're going, John, I got to tell you, I had no idea where Western Kentucky was either. And they're like, I know, right? Yeah.
Man, guys are high-fiving me. Man, that was awesome.
That was awesome. That was pretty funny. It's Longshore and McKnight. Again, coming up in the next hour, Josh Harris, our Moneyline magician. Something about the Phantom's Daily Dog is coming up as well. Yeah. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
This is the famous Budweiser beer, brewed with the choicest ingredients since 1876. 139 holidays strong, decking the halls in an 8-horse open sleigh, aged over beechwood for a crisp, smooth finish. Anyone can jingle all the way. Only Budweiser can macro all the way. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Wrap Up the Year sales event is on at Stivers. Grand Cherokees and 3-row Grand Cherokee L's under 30 grand. Wrangler 16 grand off. And Gladiators 14 grand off.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville. The wrap up the year's sales event is on at Stivers with great deals on new Rams like 0% for 6 years. Laramie's up to 18 grand off. Bighorn's up to 17 grand off. And heavy duties 12 grand off.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Okay, about 4 minutes past the hour on this Wednesday, rolling into hour number 2 here on the program. A little hoops action tonight. We mentioned the Tide back in action. I believe Auburn doesn't play till Saturday when they take on Purdue. I believe that's right.
This is always kind of a battle. Yeah.
Theodotus not listening to us. Yes, Theodotus, we just mentioned CJ's got a pressing engagement today. You got to listen to the whole show. Come on, man.
Theodotus is, he's got a lot of irons in the fire in the morning because there are times whenever we'll say, we will not have Josh Harris on today. And like 45 seconds later, Theodotus says, hey, you guys got Josh Harris on today? Yeah, I love that stuff. How about this? When we talked the other day with our guy from Oklahoma, Jack Shields,
yeah.
And we were talking about Alabama, and we have guests, say, hey, what do you think about your upcoming game against Alabama? Connor, what do you think about Alabama? First thing they always talk about, it is so weird to see an Alabama football team that cannot run the football.
Tell me about it.
Bob from Pike Road says the total lack of a running game was calculated. Lack of emphasis, poor OL coaching and playing. His pass-first offense is highly concerning to a former high school offensive line coach. Just saying. That is going to continue to hurt them.
Well, Barry, you can't just turn the switch on after the 11th game, 12th game, whatever it was. I mean, I said this before the Iron Bowl. You're just not, if you can't do it now, you're not going to do it. So Bama fans, don't expect some just miraculous running attack in Norman on Saturday. Now, having Jam Miller back, certainly helps more than it hurts. He's good in pass pro. He can catch the ball coming out of the backfield, but
knows what he's doing.
He's, not Najee Harris. He's not Derrick Henry. He's not TJ Yeldon. So I think we got to get used to it by now. Having Josh Cuevas back, I think, would be huge. I do understand he's been practicing. We'll probably know more about that from Rodney tomorrow when he joins us, but I have heard some good things about Cuevas' progress. LT Overton, he's not going to play. And I'd heard a week or so ago, Barry, his is more of an illness than it is an injury.
Oh.
So I don't think he's going to be back.
So
we'll see.
I don't mind the conversation. We're on this program to encourage and facilitate and generate the conversation and all that. But there are a lot of you out there who still believe, okay, this is the week. Here we are, week 14 or 15 or whatever it is. This is the time we're going to start running the football. What did we hear at the end of the Auburn game? Hey, we ran for 158 yards. Running game is finally showing up. This is what, Alabama's running game is going to be. No, it's not. This ain't going to get any better. If it had the potential to get better than what it is right now, they would have gotten better in week 1 in Tallahassee. They would have gotten better before they hosted Oklahoma. This is who you are. After a little while, when you're doing the same thing over and over again and you refuse to believe, that's what it is. Let
me throw this scenario.
You have got to scheme around him.
Yep.
It's like Tobias said, Kalen DeBoer could catch heat, walk into his mailbox every day. Same thing with the starting quarterback. Ty Simpson, he ain't Michael Vick, okay? He ain't Peyton Manning. He ain't Danny Werfel. He ain't any of those guys. He can't do this all by himself.
Correct.
And some of you people are giving him heat because he is not the big Band-Aid for all of the issues that he's having to contend with his offense.
So I heard this earlier in the week, talking about Alabama at Oklahoma Friday night. First team to score 17 points wins the game. Agree or disagree?
I don't know that the game ends with 17, but I think the first one to 17, I would agree.
I think so. And again, I mean, you can get some wacky special teams defensive scores, which certainly happened in Tuscaloosa a month ago. But if it's a normal type of game, I call those gimmick plays. I know they count, but, if they can avoid the gimmick play, first team to 17, I think, could win it. You're right. Speaking of DeBoer and the lack of a running game, and Ryan Grubb with him for just 1 year, he joined him this year. It took Saban 3 seasons to win a national championship, which is extremely fast for what he inherited and the drought that they had been in from their last national title. I'm not saying DeBoer is going to win the national title next year, but I do think, Barry, that this team will be more his team in year 3. I think in this day and age with transfers and NILs and all that business, it's a different ball game than it was with Nick Saban 20 years ago. And Saban did have to build and recruit and build some depth, and it's easier to do that with the transfer portal. But just molding a team in Kalen DeBoer's image, if you will,
right,
is going to take longer. And I would think basically you got to give him 2 years in this day and age. And I think by year 3, you got to avoid the Florida State games and the Vanderbilt games from last year, or the bowl game against Michigan last year, losing to Oklahoma in the manner in which you did it last year in Norman. That can't happen in year 3. You're going to lose some games, no doubt, but you can't lose them like that.
Tobias says, who is the big-time non-transfer running back Alabama has had since Najee Harris? This is what I love.
Jahmyr Gibbs?
Jahmyr Gibbs was a transfer. This is one of the things I've always talked about Bama fans being spoiled, and I'm not saying Tobias is. He's asking the question, is all he's doing. You forget, number one, we haven't had a big-time running back since Najee Harris. Najee Harris was 5 years ago. 5 years to Bama fans is an eternity. They haven't won a national championship in 5 years, and it'll be 6 at the end of this one. You also tend to forget your really good players. The Alabama record for rushing in a year, Derrick Henry, he ran for 2,219 10 years ago.
Golly.
Do you know who has the second best rushing year since then for Alabama, behind Najee Harris, who ran for about 1,500 the year that Tobias is talking about? You forget about him, but this guy ran for 1,300 yards. He's in the NFL. You guys don't pay any attention to him because he didn't win a Heisman or he didn't play for a national champion. Brian Robinson Jr.
Played for the Redskins.
Yeah.
Commanders.
The Commanders. Yeah. So you forget about all those. I mean, do you want to know how many schools would have loved to have had Glenn Coffey in 2008 with his 1,400 yards rushing, or Kenneth Darby, who ran for 1,000 yards twice? Sean Williams, Glenn Coffey, T.J. Yeldon, Damian Harris. These guys are all 1,000-yard rushers, and you're like, oh, yeah. All right.
Who is Alabama's leading rusher to this point? I guess it's Jam Miller.
You know who their leading rusher was last year? Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So I don't think anybody's sniffing the 1,000-yard mark on this Crimson Tide team.
No, and it's been since Brian Robinson Jr. Nobody's run for 1,000 yards for Alabama in 4 years.
Well, they got a kid coming in from high school that might be able to do it. They're certainly hoping so.
He may have a chance real quick.
Yeah, real quick. Hey, Gene Stallings won the Natty in year 3 as well. Yeah, appreciate that. I can't forget about Beebs.
People do.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So, there's a precedent. DeBoer has got to, hey, year 3, Kalen, I got to tell you, I mean, I hate it for you, but, that's when you got to produce.
Alabama's leading rusher is Jam Miller, who has rushed for 493 yards.
That's embarrassing.
493.
Barry, I can go and
here's something else for you to kind of, what does John say? Noodle on.
Yep.
To noodle on here. Alabama, Brian Robinson, we mentioned him just a couple of years ago. Rushed for 1,300 yards all by himself. People don't remember it. Alabama, and of course, Derrick Henry, who ran for 2,200. Derrick Henry, by himself, has rushed for 500 yards more than the entire Alabama team has run for this year.
Let that sink in a bit.
All by himself, when everybody knows that defense, those linebackers are saying, holy crap, I know what they're about to do. They're about to hand it to number 2 again. It's the fourth quarter. He's already ran 30-something times, and I am beat the brakes off of myself here. Here he comes again.
Barry, this is an opportunity for you to insert. Well, John, half of those teams were rated 84 or worse in total defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I've used that before for another running back. I mean, just it's fair, love and war.
I've got to figure out, of those 2,200 yards that Derrick Henry ran for, how many of them were against Mercer or Vanderbilt or somebody?
I wonder how many crappy defenses, and I label crappy by teams that have a defense rated, what was it, 84th or worse, back when that kid from Millbrook ran for 1,200 yards. I'm not sure Alabama's
It wasn't from
played
Millbrook. It's Cam Petway.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm not sure Alabama's played a team with a defense that's, I'm not counting Eastern Illinois and whoever they played early in the season. I'm talking about real teams. I don't think yeah, you know what I mean.
Teams.
Real teams. I'm not sure any of those teams were rated. Was it 84th or 74th? I can't recall.
It don't matter. People get your point. You're trying to kick them in the nads while you get a chance. The number doesn't matter, John.
Hey, when it comes to QBR rating, when Bo Nix was at Auburn, that number mattered because that kid got it into the single digits when he got to Oregon.
Because, John, number one, John has no idea how you arrive.
Yeah. I'll admit that too.
Rating.
I have no clue how you get a QBR. It's kind of like an ACT score. How did they come up with that number? Wait a minute.
All you have to know is the more questions you get right, the better your score is.
Well, I've always, what determines, going from an 18 to a 19? Because that's always kind of was my threshold. I'm thinking, how many more questions do I need to answer right to get an 18?
Your parents ain't buying that. Really, what is right? What is wrong, Mom? Right and wrong. That's such a hard to define concept.
I don't want to bear with, Mom and Dad, I just don't test really well, but my teachers really like me. And they say I'm engaged in class, and the comments that they write on my report card are very positive.
Yeah. They don't buy that either.
No, they don't. At all. I was never a good ACT guy. I got to admit, I took it one time. When they said you're good, I said, that's it. It's kind of like, hey, if you like your grade and you don't want to take the exam, you can walk out. Boom.
They don't even have to finish the sentence. Jones already got his books, stuck his pencil behind his ear, and is already headed out the door.
I'll take that C, and I'm out of here.
All right. The year that Derrick Henry ran for 2,200 yards at Alabama, let's see. He ran for 96 against Middle Tennessee State.
Ooh.
All right, so he ran for 236 against Texas A&M.
Yeah, okay.
Ran for 210 against LSU.
Ooh.
Ran for 271 against Auburn on 46 carries. Okay, so my point doesn't apply to Derrick Henry because the bigger the game, the more he showed up. That Auburn game in 2015.
Is that where he scored
Alabama
the game to kind of seal it?
Yeah, Alabama won that 29-13. It was a one possession game, and then he reeled off that big one. 46 carries. In that year, he had games with carries of 32, 38, 46, 44, and 36. You think Nick Saban didn't say, that was the year he said, run the bleep ball. You got number 2 back there. He's running about 40 times already against Auburn. Saban said he ran 46 times, and Auburn never tackled him. That's 46 carries, 6 yards a carry on 46 of them.
I don't think he did a lot of blocking, which when he was a freshman, Saban tried to teach him. He said, Coach, I never blocked a day in my life in high school.
Yeah,
I get
he was
that.
at Yulee High School north of Jacksonville, in that small strip of land that's actually still in Florida and north of Jacksonville. Little tiny school. John's not an idiot. John's not stupid. You see that kid coming out for practice in the fall, John is saying, running back, and we're giving it to him. All right, Coach, we're going to run him through the blocking drills. Heck with the blocking drills. We are going to run him.
You know, when a guy like Julio Jones was unique, he not only could he catch the ball, but he was a great downfield blocker, too. That was a combo skill package you don't see every day.
Imagine, to use John's ultimate rationale for everything, can you imagine how many tickets he sold, how many eyeballs were on the TV, how many people cared because they're saying, hey, look, let's watch Alabama here, or let's watch the Falcons. Julio Jones will be blocking today.
You know, next time I see Julio, I'm going to pat him on the back and say, you know, you probably didn't get enough recognition for your great downfield blocking. I noticed it. Just wanted you to know.
Yeah. He said, you're the guy. Man, I appreciate you. Fist bump. Appreciate you. You're that guy in Central John Longshore. You're the one that kept giving me props for my downfield blocking. I appreciate you, dog. Thanks.
A couple of good ones here. Bob from Pike Road. Is he Crypto Capstone too?
He is, yes. We got to get that fixed. We're working on it.
I totally agree, Bob. And I know Bama fans hate to hear this. You're smart. You accepted it. You know it. Bama is not physical. They are not as physical as they've ever been under Saban. And maybe it's just West Coast deal, you know, touchy-feely and, you know, out-scheme you and whatnot. That's not what Bama football's about. Now, will it turn into that in year 3? That I can't answer, but I'm with you. They are not physical.
And that used to be, I mean, it's not the case now, even though they're winning, but it was the case when Saban had it rolling. It sure was the case when Beebs had it rolling. All those defensive players, especially linemen, are looking on the schedule and they're saying, crap. Geez, here comes Alabama. Oh, my gosh, we're going to get beat to death out there. I know it. All my teammates know it. I'm not talking about winning or losing the game. I'm talking about even if you were going to beat Alabama, you were going to get the snot knocked out of you over and over again, and it irritates you because they'll help you back up and then they'll knock you. You know, this DeBoer team, nobody dreads playing Alabama right now. Nobody looks at it and goes, oh, snap.
So
I'll go ahead and get an extra order of Advil in for Monday or Sunday because I'm going to need it.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore.
Right. So, excuse me. I'm getting here. I'm fighting through it.
Yeah.
Tobias, I can only imagine that scene in Vegas. I've experienced that before. Might not have been a game that I was wagering on, but a big cheer erupted, and you're looking at all the screens in the sports book going, what game? What are they cheering for? What's going on here? What am I missing?
I want to say the line was something like 12.
Yep.
Something like, it was double digits, whatever it was. The line was 12 in 2015 in the Iron Bowl. And Derrick Henry had just been steamrolling Auburn all day long. Couldn't do a dang thing about it. Not a thing. And you knew when they got up that Saban was going to tell them, run the ball, run the clock, you know, let's keep it away from them. Let's just smash mouth them and all that, which is fine if you're just trying to get out of there with a win, but they need a cover. They knew, everybody on God's green earth knew that when Alabama had the ball and they were up, I think it was 8, that they were going to hand it away to Derrick Henry. Here you go. Turn around, hand off, number 2. Wait, whoa, guys. Hey, Guido, look. You know, he brushed right there. Go, man, go. Henry goes something like 71 yards.
Oh, yeah.
He's 250 pounds, and he outruns Auburn's 185-pound safety like he was running in mud. And all of a sudden, you're like, hey, he's going to do it. Thank you, Derrick Henry. Thank you. We got over the number. We covered. Thank gosh.
Big cheers, big hoorays there in Vegas, to say the least. Barry, as we go to break, and we will come back and check out the Phantom's Daily Dog. I know Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, is going to join us. Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 topic wheel as well. I did want to go to break and just mention this. A tragedy happened yesterday up in Hoover. A young lady named Christina Chambers. I worked with Christina for about a year here in Montgomery at WAKA. She was part of our sports crew there, and always found her to be so delightful to work with. She loved what she was doing. She was very energetic, was part of our lace-up program on Friday nights, as well as all of her other duties, but just was so saddened to hear about her death yesterday and how it happened. And feel so sorry for her family and her associates and her child who was left behind.
3 years old.
Just a tragedy. But, man, that hit me hard yesterday when I found that out. And just remembered working with her here in Montgomery, and just wanted to say a little bit about that before we headed to break.
Yeah, she, as a matter of fact, John introduced me to her at SEC Media Days. I had watched her and everything. And, we've got lots of colleagues. John introduced me to her, and I recognized and congratulated on her work and everything. Yesterday, all the media assembled in Montgomery at the bowl game, just shattered. All of the media members, and all of them, just could not believe that happened. What a sweet girl. What a great broadcaster she was. And gosh, you can name all the names of all the people that I talked to yesterday who just could not believe it. Certainly very much a tragedy. When we come back, Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, is next. It's Longshore and McKnight in associate. Well, next we got the Phantom Daily Dog.
Yeah, Josh has got it. I don't want to give it away, but I want Josh and the rest of the world to hear what the Daily Dog did yesterday.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
It is Longshore and McKnight, brought to you by Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light. We'll get John back online again in just a moment here. I'm Barry McKnight. Hang on, let me work on it, working here. Well, anyway, this is me. Yeah, there we go. We'll get John in just a moment with our Phantom Daily Dog coming up and visit with Josh Harris, our Moneyline Magician. Yesterday, Jacksonville State ends up winning the game in Montgomery over Troy by a final of 17-13. John joins us in a moment. Right now, Josh Harris, our money line magician. Obviously, a hotel room, the iron in the background, all of that kind of stuff. Where are you at, Josh?
Asheville, North Carolina, right in the heart of downtown Asheville. Worst places to have to go.
Yeah, that Asheville is beautiful. Don't tell everybody all the nice things about Asheville because it is growing. It is gorgeous there. Love that place. All right, I know it. We're going to get John back on and get the and get things going with Josh. But John says he wanted this to be on the record. He wants everybody to know what he's going with here.
Oh, yeah.
Phantom's Daily Dog.
Well, sorry about the little glitch. I think one of my little juvenile delinquent sons stole one of my cords from my camera and it ran out of juice. I'm thinking, I look about this. What the hell's my cord?
Yeah.
Those little hellions tuck one of those things. Oh, anyway.
Yes.
So, Josh,
the Xbox won't connect itself.
I guess not.
You know?
They just, forgot to bring the cord back. Appreciate that, fellas. Yeah, can you believe this? Unbelievable.
I can.
Yeah. Just rolling in from school. Hey, everything's great. I'm back home. When's breakfast? Anyway,
yes.
So, Josh, I know it might be hard for you to believe, but going into Monday night's game between the Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Phantom's Daily Dog had hit 9 in a row. Our man Ralph Michael from Wager Talk on Friday, Barry, said what the odds of that were like 350,000 to 1 or something?
Something like that. And John, of course, the good thing is the Phantom has won 9 in a row, but John was really kind of, shy about bringing it up. He didn't want to or anything like that. So we didn't hear much about it. I would say it was really only when he got to the 9-game winning streak. I would say it only really happened about once every 8 minutes.
So we did take it on the chin Monday night. So we couldn't get to double digits with 10 in a row. Took it on the chin after winning 9 in a row. But last night, right here in good old Montgomery, Alabama, for the Salute to Veterans Bowl, featuring Troy and Jacksonville State last night.
I was there.
Yeah.
Calling it on the Troy Network.
We had under 49.5. And if my math is correct, I believe only 30 points were scored in the game last night.
That is true.
So comfortably covered the under, which I've always said, Josh, betting an under, you've already won. You have already got a winner.
Until you don't.
Until you don't.
I think if you bet the under, it's just an automatic L. You have to sit there and watch the game and pull for no points. It's just, Is it even worth the money? Do you even watch the game if you bet the under? I mean, I think
no.
Why are you going for 2? Don't. There's too much scoring.
Yeah. Now what'll kill you in unders, Josh, is overtime. Oh, you don't need overtime.
I don't believe, to be honest, you're telling Josh anything he doesn't already know and has felt before, deep to the marrow of his bones here.
Probably true.
I can't tell you the last time I've bet an under.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's a winner, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you. Back when I was a little handicapper, someone once told me, take a dog you think can win outright and take unders over overs. I've been kind of living by that. So anyway, we don't want to toot our horn about getting back on the winning side last night with under 49.5 in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Let's move on to today's game. Harry, I'm glad you gave the start time earlier in the broadcast today, because check your bingo card. This game, 4 p.m. this afternoon, the Staff DNA Cure Bowl between Old Dominion and South Florida.
Yeah, both quarterbacks, Colton Joseph for Old Dominion and Byram Brown for South Florida, headed to Auburn, have opted out.
Yep.
So there'll be backups at quarterback. Are we thinking about the under in this one with backups?
Well, not only has Byram Brown elected to opt out, so has the entire USF coaching staff, because the majority of them are in Auburn, Alabama at the moment. So that can't be good for a team that, relies on the continuity of a coaching staff. These players might think, man, these guys left us high and dry. They don't love us anymore. So
beat it when he uses that voice.
They've got to deal with that. Where Old Dominion, on the other hand, I actually saw them against Troy earlier this year in a game. And hey, they don't sleep on Old Dominion. I'm telling you, this team, you saw them, Barry.
Yeah.
Old Dominion generated a plus 2.03 yards per play differential over its opponents this season, which is top 10 in the country. Have you ever heard of the yards per play differential statistic?
No.
Well, here you have it. Josh, have you ever heard of that stat?
I have now.
We'd love to be able to add some vibrant color to that particular stat, but that's just laid out there on the table, and we're all just looking at it.
Well, if I got that stat in my back pocket, plus the fact I'm catching 2.5, I am taking Old Dominion to win the game outright. I'm going to take the 2.5 just in case, but I like ODU against USF in the, let me check that again, Staff DNA Cure Bowl. 4:00 ESPN. That is the Phantoms Daily Dog. Any comment on that, Josh?
I'm a tail. I'm with you. Let's do it.
Love it.
Now everybody probably should take USF. If John and I are going Old Dominion, let's fade that, and that's the pick, right?
Well, let me ask you this, Josh. In keeping with the theme of this program ever since the college football playoff field was announced, if Josh Harris all of a sudden woke up this morning and found himself commissioner, czar of college football, would we still have availability for James Madison and Tulane to play in the college football playoff?
Sure. Yeah. Why not? Those were the people that the reason, part of the reason the playoff was created, to show those teams, give them a chance if by God they pull it out, right, to come and get in the playoffs. And honestly, it ought to just be one of them, because the top 5 conference champions, right? So ACC ought to have somebody in as a conference champion. So you really should just have one of those teams coming in, and then let's just that makes it so the TCUs, the Boise States of the world can get it. I guess TCU's in a Big 5 conference now, but the Boise States of the world can get in to the playoffs and come get worked. I mean, that's just. Did I see yesterday the ACC is tweaking their standing or tiebreaker rules for next year because of, I guess, of what happened this year? Because that was kind of a, I'm sure they're going to situation. I would think so. Change something. It was a complete mess all around for the ACC this year. So you don't have a problem having a team that is a 17.5-point underdog that lost by 35 to this same Ole Miss team they'll be playing Saturday, or a other team that's a 3-touchdown underdog at 21 points in JMU. That doesn't seem very, playoff-esque to me. No, I hear you. I mean, but it works. Like, you got to think of it. There has to be a happy medium between college football playoff, which is, unless you're going to make it so that it's all everybody's in a conference and it's just the winners of the division like the NFL, then you're going to have to do something to let these teams in, or else it's just going to it's not constitutional otherwise, because then they have no chance of winning a national championship. Doesn't matter who they play.
To which John says, good. But,
good.
There have been blowouts. Like I pointed out before, last year in the playoff, in the last several years, again, TCU got the dog snot beat out of them in the championship game in 2023. There have been, 29-point wins against, Power 4 teams, 24-point wins. There have been blowouts involving, the Power 4 team.
I mean, Alabama blew out Notre Dame in 2012 for the national championship.
Yeah.
I mean, they were wanting to put, poker championships on in place of that. That game was getting so out of hand. But, Josh, my plan has been let the Power 5 have their own playoff. Man, they get 16 teams in, group of 5.
Group of 5, yes.
They go out, all these group of 5 conferences, fan bases all over the country. They're all excited. They're engaged. They have something to play for. Not just, we're going to let them in because we feel, we owe it to them. And I don't think that's
not the poot sound. Come on, man. This never worked in debate club, John. It ain't working now. You get somebody with a reasoned, thought out exposition, Longshore, and now for the opposition, John Longshore.
Well, I know we're under a time constraint here, and I really don't have a long time to debate and make my point. Just give them the lip flutter and the poot sound, and you know what I mean?
There you go.
I just love Notre Dame being out. I mean, that was so great. I mean, that's where this is going, because if you let them out, Notre Dame's in, and I just think this is the prime example. This is just expose Notre Dame for everything that they are.
Especially when they just say, well, if we're not playing in the playoff, we're not playing anywhere. You guys can. Who
do you think you are? You hadn't won a national championship since '88. And the last time you were, the last national championships you've been in, you've been killed, and you didn't play anybody. And then you come after the conference that hosts you in every other sport except for football, which you're not in a conference, and then get mad about the conference lobbying for their teams. You're not in the conference, brother.
Right.
Get out of here.
So, Josh, why does Notre Dame get preferential treatment? I do not understand why. Hey, you finish in the top 12, you're in. And you can play a crappy schedule, you're in. I'm over Notre Dame. You're right. They ain't done anything they hadn't won a natty since '88. They need to join a conference or shut up.
I mean, they're getting preferential. They're getting preferential treatment, which is comical. But at least this year they laid down the law and said, if you don't play anybody and you don't beat anybody, you're not going to be in the playoffs. And not only that, we're going to put James Madison and Tulane on top of you and pour some salt in the wound. But hey, next year if you do it, buddy, we'll let you in. And then let you get killed again. I guess they bring money. They've got a lot of fans. That's a big piece of it. But other than that, it makes no sense. They're not the only other teams that aren't in a conference protect our country. And so they get away with it. And then you've got Notre Dame that hadn't done anything since Rudy. Insane.
All right. I feel like it's been enough time. It's been 11 days since Alabama sleptwalked through the SEC championship game.
Ouch.
At that point, did you think Alabama was getting in the playoff? And now that they are, what's your overall prognosis for Crimson Tide's success in the CFP?
I thought it was a coin flip. And then when I dug more into it, I saw that we were going to get in, and I thought it was pretty awesome, pretty funny, just to see the rest of the world freak out because we had a bad end of the, we had a bad-ish end of the year, right? Obviously, the Georgia game last week, I was telling John it was the worst game I've ever been to, and just embarrassing to where we're almost just laughing at ourselves at the end. There's nothing else to do but just laugh so you don't lose your mind. And then we get in, and people lose their minds. Like, there's no way we should get in because we just got killed by Georgia, blah, 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 blah. And you look at then you put our matchups, you take away the eye test, and we dominate in everything else. And so it just didn't even seem, it would have been crazy for us not to get in. And then maybe you put in Notre Dame over Miami, sure. But now the prognosis is let's just hope DeBoer takes this as what he did after Florida State opposed to what he did after Oklahoma. And if we don't turn the ball over, the reason we were winning games throughout the middle of the year is we weren't turning the ball over. We were having long, sustained drives. Ty Simpson was obviously playing better than he is now, but we're having long, sustained drives, and we weren't turning the ball over and giving our defense a chance to dominate games. What we've done in the games that we've lost is exactly that: turn the ball over and given whoever our losses, the three teams we've lost to, the ability to come back and have short fields. If we can just stop doing that and get back to our game, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But if we keep turning the ball over and giving people the ball on the 40, we're in big trouble. You can't do that, especially with teams like Oklahoma, where if you don't do that, they're not going to score. Right. They don't have an offense.
I do not think they can win the game if Alabama does not help them. Right?
No, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be able to hold on to the ball, and that's it. That's the only thing that's changed in our losses. If you look at the Georgia game, if we don't have those turnovers throughout the Georgia game, we've got a ball game. The momentum doesn't swing nearly as big as it did. It's not like Georgia's offense dominated us by any stretch of the imagination. We just couldn't hang on to the ball and have got to stop making mistakes. And that's not what we generally do. We don't generally make those mistakes until these past couple weeks. So it almost seems like hopefully that's an anomaly and we step it up and start playing better, because we have a road to get there. There's no reason we shouldn't get to the national championship other than turning the ball over.
So teams have figured out if you blitz Alabama, we saw that with Oklahoma a month ago in Tuscaloosa. Auburn did it. Georgia did it. Are you expecting to see something different offensively in terms of maybe like some quick slant routes, some quick outs to kind of loosen up this defense from bringing everybody on every play?
Ryan Williams in open space and quick slant routes to Jeremy Bernard. Like, get back to that. That was when we were rolling. That is what we were doing. The times that Ryan Williams got the ball, he was going off. Get it to him on a screen. Get it to him in open space. Get him the ball, because we can't run it. Run him on an end around, right? Get him the ball, and then quick passes. That's what Ty was doing when he was so dominant. He was making his reads extremely quickly across the field and getting the ball out. It wasn't deep ball after deep ball. He was making the reads and getting the ball out. And this isn't going to fix overnight, but Ryan Williams does not need to catch the ball going across the middle. He can't catch the ball with his hands right now. He's catching it with his chest almost every play. And so we just got to get him the ball. We'll fix that in the offseason. But for now, get him the ball in open space where he's not scared he's going to get his head taken off, and throw it a little soft to him.
One final question I've got. A buddy of mine, I guess he's a fan of one of these schools. Miami and Texas A&M coming up on Saturday. Who do you like there?
A&M.
At home. Yeah.
At home. I mean, that stadium they've got one of the more underrated stadiums in the country. I think it's I don't think people realize how crazy it is until they actually go there. You can dog their all-male cheerleaders and all their silly dances all you want, but it is loud, and that team was dominant all year. And Miami is so mediocre. I think that could be one of the bigger blowouts we see.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, love it.
I like that. So this time next week, we'll be talking. Well, next week's Christmas Eve. I'm not sure we're going to be on next week. So
I'm pretty sure we're not.
Yeah. So
one of us ain't.
We might have to squeeze you in on Tuesday to get your preview of Alabama, Indiana, and the Rose Bowl.
That's right, because that will be happening.
Okay.
I heard that, ladies and gentlemen.
Josh,
how about that?
Always great. Josh Harris, Moneyline Magician. Enjoy Asheville. We'll talk with you soon.
Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Always appreciate it. Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, joining us here today on the program. A lot of good chat coming in on our River Region Straw chat line today as well. We always appreciate that. And more to come here on the program with about 12 minutes to go or so.
Love it. John all of a sudden says, who took my cord?
Yeah.
Who took my cord? That's like the little woman. And guys, you know what she's talking about. She's looking. She says, toilet seat down. Put the toilet seat down. Is that so hard? Yeah. All of a sudden, one of the kids says, I need a cord. Hey, I know where there's a cord that we can use that'll fit perfectly. It's on Dad's camera where he does his show. Just make sure we put it back. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Bronco Sports for $8,000 off, Broncos for $10,000 off, or take advantage of the sign and drive lease offer with $399 for 36 or 48 months and 0 down payment.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150 $16,000 off or 0% for 66 months. Even Lightnings $16,000 off or 0% for 75 months, and Super Duties $12,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
You can be a winner too with Victoryland Casino's 8 days of giveaways. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. We're giving away $125,000 in free play and cash. That's right, Victoryland Casino is giving away $125,000 in free play and cash. Come play the latest and greatest games featuring exciting bonuses and huge jackpots. There's always more ways to win at Victoryland Casino. Off I-85, exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, here we are back at it. About 10 minutes to go here on the program. It looks like the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel is loaded up. Barry, I'm looking at what looks to be 5 topics today.
Okay, 5's good. 5's good.
Yep.
But we better get to it. All brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85. Where you can be a winner too.
That's true. That's what they say.
It's 6. We got 6 today.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is 6. You're right about that. See what we got.
An orange slice here.
I don't know where the orange is.
I think we did the see you later, which was a line from Dazed and Confused. Well, you're so lame. See you later. See you later. You're such a dork. Yeah. All right. See you later.
See what we got.
Ooh, here we go. Yes, sir. Really looking forward to old see you later. We may have hit the glitch here.
More glitches today. A lot of glitches today. Maybe a cord got pulled out.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's very likely. So we may have to.
Here we go.
Oh, here we are now.
Knockout. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, yeah, that'll get you.
Yeah. See, it's not, it is hard to knock somebody out. A kick to the side of the head. It doesn't have to land on the temple or on the chin. He gets him right down the neck, right? Or just below.
That'll get you.
Just below the ear. And Mr. Purple Hair.
He needs to hit a tanning booth too, Barry. That guy's extremely white.
Yes.
I mean, woo, get a little color in there. Those white shorts don't help you either.
Yeah. Neither does the purple hair with the blue on there. Yeah. See you later.
You know, Barry, I know UCF is popular. I don't get it. I don't get it.
People like seeing people get knocked out.
I guess so.
I got to admit, I'll go on YouTube or Instagram every once in a while, and the knockouts on there, holy smokes, there are some guys who are like unconscious before they hit the mat.
Yeah.
All right, this is Cool Gift.
Cool Gift. I'm always looking for
Cool Rory McIlroy.
Oh, yeah.
A scorecard from Augusta National when he finally he had a scorecard. I'm not sure who Diamond is. Maybe it's the actor who played Screech in Saved by the Bell, Dustin Diamond. His caddy gave it to him.
Okay.
He got the career Grand Slam. His caddy, Harry Diamond, which is a great name, John.
That is a good one.
Harry
not
Diamond.
Not related to Neil.
He had a scorecard signed by the other 5 golfers who have completed the modern era slam dunk. Yeah, okay, I get it now. It wasn't the scorecard from the first round at Augusta National when he won the Masters. It was a scorecard signed by Nicklaus player Hogan, Gene Sarazen, and Tiger Woods.
Man, that's pretty impressive. Hey, Gurn, can you go back to the top there?
Yeah, let's go.
That's not his caddy, is it? Who is this guy?
Is that Aaron Rodgers? I don't know.
The hair, the beard. I mean,
yeah, he's Steve from the Blues Brothers band, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
When they got the band back together.
That's the band. Okay,
yeah.
I was wondering who that was.
That is pretty cool. How do you get a scorecard signed by Gene Sarazen and Ben Hogan, who've been dead for 60 years?
If I'm just
I don't know. I'm
guess
thinking old Harry Diamond may have said, I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'm just gonna take a guess here. I'm thinking Sarazen and Hogan maybe signed it back in the 60s.
Well, he certainly couldn't have signed it in the 2000s, that's for sure. I'm thinking old Harry Diamond there said, hey, here you go, Rory. And Rory says, that's really interesting. Gene Sarazen, Tiger Woods, and Ben Hogan all have the same handwriting.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, hey, man, what's the law?
Yeah.
We'll go back to it here.
All right, 4 more to go. Blue,
that is a cool.
Gold and green. Let's see where it lands. Finally fair.
What is this, the college football playoff?
Yeah, finally fair. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, FIFA, the national organizer for soccer, the World Cup. They had promised that the average fan wouldn't get priced out of the market at the upcoming World Cup games. And not only did the prices not go down, they went up across the board. And all of the rank and file soccer fans, football fans, they were screaming at FIFA, And FIFA decided to go ahead and slash a lot of the prices. $60 tickets will be made available for every game at the tournament, which is going to be taking place in North America. FIFA was gouging the fans for years. FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations out there. They didn't explain specifically why they changed it, but they got called out is basically what it was,
Yep. So, Bear, I mentioned back in the fall, I was playing in a golf tournament over in Atlanta, and there was a gentleman there before we were about to tee off with his laptop trying to get in on the ticket deal.
Oh, it's
I think that's the day it opened up. He's there at the crack of dawn. He's sitting there waiting. Could not get any tickets. I'm thinking
it's unbelievable.
He said it was unreal. People all over the world trying to get tickets.
Like hundreds of millions of people. This ain't like Alabama, Eastern Illinois. This is the World Cup where people lose their mind over it.
And it's coming to the States.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Is Birmingham getting anything? Probably not.
I know Atlanta is. I know they're playing over there because this guy was hoping to get some tickets there at Mercedes Stadium.
There you go.
All right. Let's go. 3 more to go. I think we can do it.
Oh, we got plenty.
Red, yellow, and blue.
Oh, the red is Sad Dak. This is going to be great. Will we stick on red? Nope.
Just
lack of faith.
Lack of faith.
That's Longshore's foursome when he says he couldn't hit that putt.
No way.
Now, the highest paid kicker in the NFL is good old Harrison Butker.
Okay.
Of the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's been really, really good.
Was he making $6 million a year?
Can you imagine? Now that Patrick Mahomes is out for the year, they're going with good old Gardner Minshew, former Troy Trojan. Now the Chiefs, they lost last weekend. It was kind of just a really, really bad weekend. And the storyline there is that they had a chance. They ended up losing that game last week to the Chargers by 3.
Ooh.
At home.
Ooh.
Knock them out of the playoffs.
Ooh.
Butker, it would have been about a 58-yarder to tie. 20 seconds left. They had a timeout.
It's a long field goal.
Yeah, why not run one more play, run a quick out, get 10 yards or more, and then have him kick it. It didn't work out. You got the highest paid kicker in the NFL. You got a chance to tie the game and send it into overtime, and you say, "No, we're gonna heave it downfield."
That's a lot of pressure. You miss a game winner, knock yourself out of the playoff. Your teammates are kind of down on you. I know you're making $6 million, but you're probably going home and staring at the ceiling after that. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
All right, what do we got left? We got two
more. Yep,
right.
Red and blue. And let's see what we end up with here. And it's going to be the blue panel, I believe.
Ooh, expansion?
Oh, listen up, Dennis.
What do you think about this? This is a Dennis Mitchell topic. The NBA, Adam Silver, who does look like the lead character from Beetlejuice. He is the commissioner of the NBA.
Correct.
The NBA Cup's over with. Big whoop. The Knicks won it. And he's talking, not only is he talking about expanding the NBA, going to 32 teams like the NFL, but he's also letting everybody know this is what we're looking at. They're looking at Vegas. They're looking at Seattle. I don't know why in the world they got out of Seattle for Oklahoma City, for God's sakes. But yeah, he's already telling everybody, hey, you guys in Vegas, you guys in Seattle, you up the ante a little bit and we may choose you,
I'm surprised Vegas doesn't already have a team. They've got an NFL and an NHL team, and they have their summer league games in Vegas. So I'm surprised they're not already there.
Somebody was talking about why not Nashville. Here's what needs to happen with Nashville is not expansion. They just need to move the Memphis franchise over.
Well, probably so. And now that Nick Saban is a partial owner of the Nashville Predators.
You saw that.
Yeah.
Yep. He's already owned several car dealerships in Nashville. Saban's big in Nashville.
Yeah.
So there you go. One more
to go. Got to spin it to make it official here. And look at this. Dak ends up last.
Sad Dak.
That's happened a lot. He wasn't happy yesterday. I saw a press conference with Dak.
Yeah.
He
well,
is not
why
happy.
would he be? They lose to the lowly Vikings.
Hey.
That pretty much takes Dallas out of the playoffs. And he says, yeah, definitely surprised, especially after the bye week and the trades just got rolling like we did. They got Quinnen Williams and some of the other ones. And just a lot of good things to be in this position. And they played like they did. It's tough. I'm definitely surprised, hurt, pissed off, frustrated, but all I can do is get better tomorrow.
Dak, I hate it for you. Yeah.
He could have played better, too.
Yeah, he could have. Are more people in line with me now that he's an average quarterback, not in the top 15?
He asks that kind of stuff. It's like, no more people in line with me, like right now with, a $100 Iron Bowl ticket, something I said that they ought to do 28 years ago. And now that it's happened, I'm like,
she told you.
Yeah. Now that Dak is an average quarterback and he's no longer one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, like I said way back in the day. Now John's saying, he isn't anymore. Well, when he's 70, he's not going to be then either.
Just to look at all that money that people left on the table with those Iron Bowl tickets. If they'd only taken me up on it 28 years ago, I've been making a lot more coin. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking with Jason Caldwell of Auburn Undercover at the bottom of hour number 1. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Kicking off hour number 2 as we will be on the eve of the start of the college football playoff. Woo!
Yes. Thanks to Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, for joining us. For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.